In 2020, we said goodbye before we were ready.
We never got that final bow, but we created incredible memories that will always be part of who we are.
And the score comes in for Kyla Ross. It's her second perfect 10 of the day.
Our end was the spark for this season's fire.
Oh my gosh!
Our sisters came into the season like warriors.
I love how excited she gets. Is so engaging. You have to watch her.
Their battle hasn't been easy.
This is where your inner warrior really has to come out.
They have fought to stay together
And to go higher than they have ever gone before.
Today, they get the chance we never got.
So ladies, go out and fight like warriors.
You're watching the NCAA Championships on ESPN. Welcome to Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas for our live coverage of the 2021 Women's NCAA Gymnastics Championships. Top 8 teams in the country are here competing in 2 separate semifinal sessions. Earlier today, Michigan, Florida, Cal, and Minnesota competed in Session 1, with Michigan and Florida advancing to tomorrow's finals. Session 2 is coming up now, featuring Oklahoma, LSU, Utah, and Alabama. Just 2 teams from this session will advance to tomorrow's final. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist Kathy Johnson-Clark. A wild weekend of gymnastics here in Fort Worth, and we're glad you've joined us. Now, we thought much of the drama would be focused on this evening session that we're about to see, but this afternoon, Session 1 was wild. The Cal team was pulled off the floor an hour and 10 minutes before the start of their meet. And then 42 minutes later, they were allowed to continue their warm-ups, and they were cleared to compete. There was some concern about COVID contact tracing protocol. So it was a wild afternoon, and then Cal put together a spectacular meet, finishing .075 out of a spot into the final. It was a crazy afternoon, Kathy.
Absolutely. Michigan was absolutely outstanding. And with 4 strong all-arounders, that is truly the key to their success. Florida was a little bit hot and cold, and Cal and Minnesota kept it so close, kept Florida's feet to the flames, which is why they probably had a little trouble with those landings in the final rotation. It was dramatic and down to the wire to the final routine.
All right, let's talk about the 4 teams in this session. The Oklahoma Sooners are going for their 5th NCAA championship in 7 years.
And LSU, well, they're a bit of a two-sided coin. We've seen some brilliance, but we've also seen some shakiness like we saw at regionals.
And Utah had the highest program score in history at the regionals, and they are the only team in the nation to qualify for all 39 NCAA championships.
And number 7 seed Alabama, they won the SEC championships, upsetting number 1 Florida. So you look at these headlines, anything can happen here.
That certainly has been the theme all season long. Anything can happen, and 2 more teams will advance out of tonight's semifinal to tomorrow's championship, which will be on ABC. Spectacular new Dickies Arena here in Fort Worth, Texas. Bart Connor, along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, calling the action in this semifinal number 2. Take a look at the competition format. 8 teams compete in 2 semifinals over this day. All 4 apparatus run simultaneously. 6 gymnasts per team compete on each apparatus, but just the top 5 scores count towards their team total. Now, in the NCAA championships, we actually have 6 judges. The high and low scores are dropped. The remaining 4 scores are averaged. The top 2 teams from each semifinal advance to tomorrow's championship round. All right, we are set to go in this first rotation. We have the quad box. Every apparatus, every athlete can be seen on the ESPN app. Up in your left corner is vault. That's Emily Gaskins getting ready to vault for Alabama. In your upper right corner is Oklahoma, and it'll be Olivia Troutman on bars. Your lower left is Lexi Birch from Utah on beam, and for LSU on the floor, it's Christina Desiderio. Here we go.
Alabama off to a start with a Yurchenko full. Keep in mind that's a 9.95 start value. We will see some 1.5 twists, and that will be a 10.0 start value. Double layout on the floor exercise for LSU. Good control on that landing. Utah starting on the balance beam.
And a stuck landing for Olivia Troutman for Oklahoma. Troutman missed much of the season because of a foot injury. She's in the all-around tonight, which is a big boost for the Sooners.
Alexia Birch for Utah on beam. Very steady so far. This has been a good event for Utah.
Currently ranked 3rd in the country on this event as a team.
And LSU is ranked 2nd on floor exercise, so big opportunity for both of these teams to put up some big numbers to start the competition. Final pass, double tuck, look for chest high landing and control, good step into that lunge. Strong routine, one of her best this season.
Great start for the LSU Tigers. Jay Clark, in his first year as the sole head coach there, he told us the other day, this is one of the deepest teams they've ever had, 10 to 13 deep on every event. Emily Gaskins for Alabama had a 9.8. This brings up Maddie Walagora, who's back from an ankle injury.
Tweaked both her ankles, and look at that, comes up big for her team with a 1.5 twist. Remember, that's the 10-0 start value.
Beautiful.
Judges are looking for height, distance, of course, that difficulty helps, and then the landing. Pretty good block off that table, spots the landing. She's happy with it, as she should be.
Wow, she tweaked both ankles after the SEC championship, so was not participating in the regional. Good to have her back at full strength. This is Catherine Levasseur coming after Olivia Troutman led off the Sooners with a 9.9 on bars.
And Kat has superb technique on this event. Nice body line throughout the whole routine. Gorgeous double layout. Hiked down a little bit and didn't need to. Caused her to hop back, so didn't quite get the stick on the landing.
Looks like Shalyn Olson will be set to go next for Alabama on the vault. She's one of the few gymnasts in this competition, Kathy, that does the double twisting Yurchenko.
Absolutely, one of the most difficult, is the most difficult right now in NCAA Gymnastics. We saw her hit a great one at regionals.
Member of the Canadian national team, hoping to compete in the Olympics this summer for Canada.
Very nice vault, landed with the chest up. She has that hop back, so they will have to take a deduction for that landing. But extraordinary level of difficulty.
She came after Maddie Walagora, had a 9.875 in that second spot. So Alabama off to a hot start on vault.
As I said, the judges look for height and distance. You want to see that change of direction. Her hips are just above 4 feet off the table, and she gets 2 twists in a laid out position, and just that slide back on the landing.
Jordan Draper waiting for her turn on the bars. Remember, there's 4 events all going simultaneously, so go to the ESPN app and you can see every routine of your favorite team. Okay, Troutman had a 9.9 for the Sooners, Levasseur a 9.85, and that brings up Jordan Draper.
She'll open this routine with a giant swing to a blind change. Want to see it right on top of the bar, finish in handstand. She was a little bit over into a pike Jaeger. Lost a little bit of foot form and knees. Oh, and legs way apart on that pack salto. That will be a fairly sizable deduction, form deduction. Good final handstand, really being aggressive.
Lexi Graber on vault for Alabama.
Great stick, but look at this 1.5 twist by Lexi Graber.
Nice.
Oh, just brought her head forward a little too much at the end. She has been out of the lineup, Art, for us through regionals. And so they have been managing a lower leg injury, and it's so good to see her in these lineups. She came up big for them at regional, came in one day and competed one event, one vault.
Alabama won the SEC championships this year, the first time since 2015. And even with those injuries, they managed to qualify through regionals and make it here. And certainly they are a team that will contend for the championship. Krista Issa now for Utah on beam. Lexi Birch led them off with a 9.875.
Nice control on her candle mount.
And Lucy Stanhope followed up with a 9.8125 for Utah.
Crystal does a triple series, 3 skills connected here. Get bonus for this. 2 layout step outs.
Oh.
Very solid. The judges are not only looking for the difficulty to be completed, but also amplitude, straight legs, toes pointed throughout the entire sequence.
Utah is the number 6 seed coming into this NCAA championship. This is their 45th straight NCAA championship.
That was a slight little balance correction that she had to make. Strong into the dismount, nice stick on the landing. So just a couple little things in that routine.
Anastasia Webb will be next up for the Sooners on the bars. This is a huge routine with one of the biggest transition moves, the Pac Salto, I've ever seen. Jordan Draper had a 9.8625.
She has the most amplitude on the Pac Salto that we've ever seen, certainly in college and perhaps even in elite gymnastics. The technique is superb.
She scored a perfect 10 on this event this year.
And then she has a very difficult transition back up to high bar into a great dismount. So let's see. Good handstand. Huge Pac Salto. That is worth the price of admission right there, folks. And the Van Leeuwen, smooth as can be. Perfect form, sets up her dismount right here. It's a double front half.
Oh my!
Gets the landing.
Wow.
That is, wow,
unbelievable.
I rarely ever let the words perfection come out. It's very, very close. This was outstanding. Truly gorgeous. That is a thrill. And this dismount, complicated, high, turns it around. You only have a split second to spot that mat.
She has competed in every event of her career for the Sooners, all around every meet this year. Luisa Blanco now coming up for Alabama. Kaylee Quinn before her in 9.8. Lexi Graber 9.8875.
1.5 twist here. Oh, under rotated. Oh,
just a little.
It was almost like she was thinking stick just a hair early, but I have to say she was slightly underpowered even in the warm-up, so I think there was some adjustment she had to make.
Luisa Blanco has had a fantastic sophomore year for Alabama. As we look at the beam, here's Abby Paulson coming after Crystal Issa had a 9.875.
Bart, we got to see a really difficult combination on beam, the side aerial to the layout step out. Not all beam routines, even the ones that are all starting from a 10.0, are created equally. Some have higher levels of difficulty, better execution, form, and this is all the things that the judges have to sort out with their deductions.
Paulson tied for 6th in the nation rankings on this event.
Side aerial to full, excellent routine. Combination of superb balance and good difficulty in that routine.
All these gymnasts have competed for years as club athletes and now competing in rival schools. And even interesting story here, Nia Dennis at UCLA, who's competing, and Makari Doggett, they were both club teammates at Buckeye Gymnastics in Ohio, and they are inseparable, best of friends. They share tattoos with the initials N and M, and the tattoo ROD stands for Ride or Die, indicating their unflappable love for each other and support. How nice. And that brings up Nia Dennis. She is the senior competing in her only event here at these championships on the vault.
A gorgeous vault, good for her. I know a lot of people really wanted to see her floor exercise, and so many have seen it. Of course, it went viral, and everybody has just shared stories about the routine, but great to see her here at the finals.
UCLA did not advance from their regional. They have 3 athletes competing tonight: Shay Campbell, Nia Dennis, and Margzetta Frazier. So we'll see them, but that is unfortunately the only performance we'll see from Nia Dennis. A moment ago on bars for the Sooners, Reagan Smith. Oh my! Oh! Wow.
Wow, that
Looks like she's okay. (99125) was the score for Anastasia Webb. You saw her performance before that. Remember, 6 athletes compete. You count just the best 5 scores. So that'll put a little additional pressure on the final Sooner, which is Audrey Davis. Adrian Randall getting set to go for Utah on beam. Scores are very strong over there so far. 2.9875s, a 9, and 2.98125s.
nice look down the end of the beam so you can really see how the gymnasts line everything up. They keep everything stacked on top of each other from the ankles through the knees, hips, core and shoulders, straight as could be. You jump into a sheep, jump. Those shapes in those leaps are very important. The judges want to see the precise and correct shape for each leap. Full twisting, back handspring, swing down. Nice variety of skills, both in the dance and acrobatic.
Haley Bryant beginning her floor routine for LSU. They've had 3 9.9s and a 9.8875, so LSU off to an impressive start here.
Huge tumbling pass here. Double front. A little bit of a big step out of it, but such a difficult tumbling pass. Front layout to Rudy. From the moment Haley stepped on the floor of the first time, she caught everybody's attention. Actually, before she stepped on the floor, everybody's waiting to see her perform. And this floor routine has 2 E passes in it. She opened with a double front and will come back in the third pass here. A front double twist, really difficult at the end of the routine. Well done.
Audrey Davis mounts bars for the Sooners.
And this is the best bar routine in NCAA. It has the highest level of difficulty, extraordinary technique. Look at the handstand pirouette on low bar, right on top.
Oh, nice. They need a big routine here. Reagan Smith scored only 9.1125.
Gonna do another Higgins roll right here into her dismount. Double front, so high. Oh, a step forward. And I know, Bart, you and I just cringe every time because this is truly a spectacular routine and should almost always be the highest score because of everything in the routine. But if she takes that step and they take that deduction.
Her form and execution and technique is just masterful.
It is amazing. And the originality in this routine, it's a breath of fresh air. Just couldn't quite get the stick on the landing.
Riley O'Keefe on beam, the sophomore from Las Vegas.
And there are some gymnasts who truly can strive for perfection on this event. They have everything, all the qualities necessary and the difficulty. Gorgeous side aerial to back layout step out.
She scored a 10 on beam January 30th versus Washington. Right now she's tied for first place in NCAA rankings on this event as well.
Lovely how she gets that. Oh no, tiny little balance break right there. That was just an oops. Beautiful extension through her feet. Shows off that toe point. that leap to the side aerial full, just
Oh.
impeccable, almost flawless, but that one little oops in the middle of the routine, it was just a balance break as she was turning around.
Every score for Utah, 9.8125 or better, and it's nerve-wracking to start the meet on beam, but I did very respectable job there, but no scores in the 9.9s. Now Kaya Johnson will wrap it up for LSU on the floor. They have three 9.9s, 9.8875 and a 9.875.
And Bart, one of the most exciting 1-2 punches in college gymnastics, and it goes from Haley Bryant to Kaya Johnson. Check this out. Full in. Now you can't tell from our angle, but I think that was a pretty big bounce back, so they will have to deduct for that.
See the score there for Haley Bryant, 9.875.
Beautiful control on that middle pass. Nice positions in these leaps.
3 times this year she scored perfect 10s.
Pike double here. Watch the landing.
Nice.
Excellent lift and beautiful control. As always, that's a great routine, and we did not have the angle on that first tumbling pass to see how big that step into the lunge, if it was controlled enough, if she can keep that front foot down as she stepped into the lunge, then you can escape a deduction.
As a sophomore from Dallas, Texas, a lot of Texas club gymnasts in this meet here today.
Yeah, you could see the front foot, it did lift and come off, so. But this is always a wow routine. It just is.
Talk about the camaraderie among these teams. Shay Campbell is competing as an individual for UCLA, and she's rotating with the LSU team. And this week, the LSU team put out a pretty cool tweet. Did we just learn Shay Campbell's entire floor routine so we can do it with her on the sidelines at Nationals? Well, we're about to see it. Now, Kathy, this is one of the great things about when you're here as an individual, these individuals get embraced by the team they're rotating with, and it's really special, isn't it?
Because everybody knows the importance of having a team behind you. That's what NCAA Gymnastics is all about. And so they fill in for her teammates. It gives you energy just to have that support, people cheering for you as you go. And they do it for each other all season long. So it's extra special when you see them do it for another team.
Shay Campbell from Carrollton, Texas. Her uncle, Calais Campbell, by the way, plays for the Baltimore Ravens. 9.9125 is the score for Kaya Johnson for LSU. They'll have the lead after this first rotation. But let's enjoy this routine from Shay Campbell, UCLA.
Perfect control on the double back. These routines have meant so much to the UCLA fans, the stories they tell, the messages that they send. And BJ Doss has done a phenomenal job with the choreography and the music. That's her standing right here in the corner. Well done. So powerfully strong all season long. The dance, the music, the message, it has just been wonderful.
And there are her teammates, Nia and Mark Zeta, on the sidelines as well. A lot of highlights in that first rotation, Kathy. The Sooners were outstanding on the bars, and in fact, it was Anastasia Webb who had their high score, 99125.
It was truly a treat sitting here watching this routine. She took her time, milked all these positions, and came up with a perfect landing on a very difficult dismount. And LSU on floor exercise. Lead-off performer Christina Desiderio started them off so strong. Sierra Ballard came back. And they too really have great musicality, great choreography to show off their floor. They showed why they're ranked number 2 in the country on this event. Kaya Johnson finished so strong with a 99125.
And with that 49.5, LSU has the lead after the first rotation. Wow. Well, is this the year of the underdog? We'll talk to Utah's Tom Farden about that when we come back.
Going into Pac-12s, we had a team meeting, and it was kind of like, just because you're seed number 2 doesn't mean you can't win. All the conference championships being won by underdogs really just shows how good the NCAA Gymnastics is getting.
You know, U is for Utah and U is for underdog, and we love playing the underdog role. You know, we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. It gives us an opportunity to go out there and prove to ourselves that we belong.
And welcome back. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Here is the meet summary. After the first rotation, LSU leads by .2125. They were incredible on floor with a 49.5. Oklahoma Sooners are 1/10 behind. Alabama in 3rd and Utah in 4th. The underdogs, as they said. We talk about the underdogs this year. Well, in the 4 big conferences, they were all won by an underdog. The Big Ten, Minnesota beat Michigan, who was the number 1 seed. In the Big 12, Denver beat Oklahoma, who was the number 1 seed. In the Pac-12, it was Utah, who beat California, the number 1 seed. And in the SEC, it wasn't Florida, the number 1 seed. It was Alabama that got the championship. So once again, there's never been more parity in women's collegiate gymnastics than now. And this weekend, anything can happen. Now, tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, we'll bring you the NCAA Gymnastics Championship for the first time on ABC. You'll also be able to see every routine on the ESPN app, including our all-around channel with all 4 apparatus going at once. For the 3rd year, the NCAA Teamworks Initiative and Local Sports Commission hosted the Readers Become Leaders contest for Fort Worth students. 22 area schools participated with students, reading a combined 150,000 total minutes over 5 weeks. Mrs. Van Osdal's 3rd grade class from Greenbrier Elementary won the contest, with each student reading an average of 699 minutes during the 5 weeks. Congratulations to Mrs. Van Osdal and her students at Greenbrier Elementary. Okay, we'll come back with the second of 4 rotations. Don't go away.
One of my best friends, Carrie, she had fallen the last minute. I'm about to cry, but it literally broke my heart because she is my role model, my best friend. We're super close to one another, and I really hope she'll be able to compete this weekend. But if she doesn't, I'm just going to do it for her because I know how much it means to her and how much it means for our team to win.
Getting set for the second of 4 rotations here. Here are the scores after the first rotation. LSU spectacular on floor with a 49.5. Oklahoma trails them by 1/10 of a point, followed by Alabama and Utah. Remember, just the top 2 from tonight qualify until tomorrow's team championship. Moments ago, Shea Campbell from UCLA in the one-touch warm-up.
No, she landed short. I saw it in real time from across.
Hyperextended
leg.
Leg.
She's walked off. She is walking off.
So certainly hoping that she'll be all right competing in the all-around tonight. Unlucky for her here in the second rotation. Remember, every apparatus and every athlete available on the ESPN app in this rotation. LSU is on the ball. That's Sammy Durante getting set to go. In your upper right corner, Jenzie Gibbons will go for Alabama on the bars. In the lower left, it's Olivia Troutman leading off on the beam for the Sooners. And on the floor, in the lower right, it's Crystal Issa for Utah.
Great start for LSU. So good to see Sammy Durante stick that vault. She had trouble with it in a couple of meets, but had a little bit of a form break here on your top right box. Jenzie Gibbons on the bars, great in the handstand positions. Gave away a little bit of form in her transition down to low bar, but a nice high double layout to finish that routine. They'll be happy with that. Olivia Troutman on balance beam. She just added this to her list of events at the Big 12. She is a gamer. Fired up and dialed in. You put her in leadoff. Unbelievable.
She led off bars with a 9-9, and KJ Kindler said Troutman brings the energy to this team and a sense of positiveness. Wow. 712 days she was out of full competition because of lingering foot injuries. How great to see her at full strength now when it matters most for the Sooners. Ilona Shenikova getting set to go on vault for LSU. You see here NQS, that's a national qualifying score, well over 9-9 this year. Sammy Durante had a 9.875 to lead them off.
Big score for the full. This is a 1.5 twist, 10-0 start value. Nice height, little over rotation, so a giant step forward.
Great technique though. The road to the national championships runs through NCAA.com with live broadcasts, exclusive access, and highlights of every championship. The NCAA women's volleyball tournament completed its second round yesterday, with the semifinals coming up on April 22nd and the championship on April 24th. Audrey Davis getting a few last-minute notes from KJ Kindler, who has some specific keywords that she uses to focus in with her athletes every time before they step up.
Audrey Davis has a beautiful scale right here at the beginning where she pivots on that foot. Really shows off her unique qualities, flexibility, both in the back, leg flexibility. And she has a huge bag of tricks on this event. She has had things in and out of this routine. We saw her doing a nodi early on in the season. She'll do a back handspring layout here for her acro series. You can even see the flexibility in her acro series. Elena Arenas, LSU vault, Yurchenko full, and that's a huge full, folks. I mean, height, distance, great technique, and almost a stuck landing.
Shenikova before her had a 9.837.5, so LSU on a roll.
Look at the beautiful position in that ring. Very difficult jump on beam.
7 times this year. Davis has been 9-9 plus on beam. Oh, wow.
And she hangs on to that stick. No movement of the feet. The judges may take up a tiny bit for that kind of awkward chest down position, but she was not going to move.
She's freshman from Frisco, Texas. There are so many gymnasts in this meet representing all these different teams from Texas clubs. It's inconceivable that...
You can't talk over that, Leaf. I'm so sorry. But you got to see the full split and that foot going up toward the head. Sorry about that, partner.
Yeah, it's okay, partner. I wanted to say it's inconceivable that there's no Division I program in Texas, considering so many of these club gymnasts are the best gymnasts in the country, and they come out of Texas. You could have a #1 program in this country and not even have to recruit outside the state lines.
I agree with you. Wake up, Texas.
Wake up, Texas. Get a team down here. This is good stuff. Sarah Edwards getting set to go for LSU.
So they're alternating in this lineup. You've seen fulls and 1.5. Sarah's going to do a 1.5 twist. We haven't seen a lot of stuff landings on vault yet. Maybe they're saving them all for tomorrow's finals, but or just getting used to the podium.
That's true. The dynamics on the podium, it's a little bit bouncier, no question.
Whoa, that's a big vault for a tiny vaulter. She can really show great. Oh, mom and dad, look at that. They love it. I don't envy moms and dads sitting in the stands. It's nerve-wracking.
Cam Machado back in the lineup after having a problem with her shoulder. It subluxed a couple of weeks ago. Good to have her on the bars.
A little bit of leg separation on that pack salto down. It was so great to see her step back in the lineup at regional. She had a fall at SECs and they put her right back up there. And that's where you got to have trust and belief and go after it. Well done.
The high score for Alabama on the bars so far is their leadoff score from Jenzy Gibbons. There's Dana Duckworth, who is guiding that program in her 7th season. They won the SECs this year.
Here's that toe on full pirouette. You really want to see that finish in the handstand position. So they'll take a tiny deduction there. See how she's off center, a little off kilter. She straightens it up as she goes into the double back. So Kaya Johnson, a huge double twist vault.
Sarah Edwards had a 9.875. Oh,
look at that! There it is. That's the one she wanted.
That was a landing.
Wow.
Oh,
so exciting. We've just seen 3 double twists. We got to see Shallon Olson of Alabama do one. Nia Dennis came back with a double twist. We hadn't seen that all season. And then look at this.
Wow.
Look at the height, 4.5 feet above the table. Nice form, good distance. Look at that, past 6 feet beyond the table. And the control on the landing, chest up too.
Technique and power all put together in the sophomore from Dallas, Texas, Kaya Johnson. They'll have one final vaulter for LSU, and that is Haley Bryant. Always a highlight, one of the most spectacular vaults in college gymnastics.
And just like on floor exercise, this 1-2 punch with LSU, with Kaya and Haley, because they really have that nice combination of power and technique.
There is Haley Bryant. What a freshman year she has had.
Coach Bob Moore has done a tremendous job with this vault squad, but particularly with Haley and teaching her how to find this landing. Watch her get her arms up out in front of her before she lands to stabilize this landing. Front pike half. What a vault! There it is!
My goodness! Unreal!
She didn't want to move her feet. She didn't even want to move them to step and salute the judge.
Oh, nobody gets that block off that vault table like she does.
That is unreal.
Give her the stick crown.
And she even does it from the back of the board, front of the table, and then flies. Look at the laid out position and freezes.
Did she hold it long enough? I don't
know.
So there are 6 judges here. In order to get a perfect 10, if you drop the high and the low, that means 5 out of the 6 judges have to give you a 10.
And I have to say, it's not just the feet that need to stick. It's the body position with the chest up, which hers was, but the extra arm circle to keep your balance should be a minute deduction.
Kaya Johnson before her had a 9.95.
Not too shabby. That's
so LSU on 2 explosive events, floor and vault, off to an outstanding start here in semifinal number 2. 98.85 And we'll wait to get the score for Haley Brandt. Their score will likely go up for LSU. Jaden Rucker for Utah coming after Lucy Stanhope at a 9.875. Utah's strong over there. 9.9, 9.8, 8.75, 9.875.
Watch these leaps. Switch half, split full, wolf full. Again, you want to see those perfect and very precise shapes in the air.
Score just came in for Haley Brandt. It's a 9.975, the best score of the day, just short of a 10 for LSU. As Shay Campbell gets set to go on the vault. We saw her in the warm-up.
Now, Bart, she's going to do a different vault. So see the 4.15 there, she's going to throw your Chenko full. What we saw her do and land short was the 1.5. So this is a safe landing. She wants to do it as high and as well as possible because it's a lesser start value. But good move. Go for a perfect full.
And less risk on those knees. Wow, that's a relief. She's okay. Moments ago, Makari Doggett on bars coming after Shania Adams had a 9.775, which is low for her. She's typically much higher than that. No 9.9s yet for Alabama on the bars.
This may put them over the top. She has scored a 10 on this event. Oh, wow, right on top of the bar with that pirouette. Beautiful.
As Reagan Smith mounts the beam for Oklahoma after they get their second 9.85 in a row from Jenna Dunn and Carly Woodard.
And this is where Reagan Smith can be just lights out. She has such superb training on beam. She keeps the flow, the movement, the pace. I really like it. One of my favorite combinations in this routine is right here. That straddle half. Right into the back handspring swing down. Very unique, beautifully done. Wonderful to see her come back from the mishap on bars. And this is what team gymnastics is all about. It is having your teammates back. And when you make a mistake, you get back up and you do your job.
Oh, yes.
Well done.
You can see why she is the 2021 balance beam co-champ in the Big 12 with her teammate Anastasia Webb. Reagan Smith, she's local girl too. Louisville, Texas. Nice job for the Sooners. Miley O'Keefe now coming after Jaden Rucker had a 9.9125. And Luisa Blanco on the bars for Alabama after Makari Doggett got a 9.925.
Two beautiful gymnasts performing side by side, exquisite form. Look at the legs together, the toe point on all the motion. Now she was a little close on that catch. She made it work, which is the sign of an extremely talented gymnast and well-trained. Double layout, see if she can find the land. Excuse me, full twisting double back, gets the stock landing. And Miley is just equally exquisite with her presentation. Finishes with her combination pass, back 1.5, nice amplitude, good control. Beautiful musicality, really works well with the music.
Miley O'Keefe, the Pac-12 Gymnast of the Year. She's the first Utah gymnast to win that title since Georgia DeBritz. And here is Anastasia Webb coming after Reagan Smith's impressive 99375.
Just enjoy this remarkably unique style, pace, presentation. She moves briskly in and out of her acro and dance skills.
She has scored 10s this season on vault, bars, and beam.
Handspring layout, step out, perfect. Watch how she covers the entire length of the beam very quickly. Nobody covers the beam quite like Anastasia.
Score just came in for Luisa Blanco, Alabama on bars, 99375.
Beautiful leap pass. See how she just keeps moving.
Margzetta Frazier competing as an individual for UCLA here on the bars.
Anastasia finishing up.
Oh, beautiful.
What a gorgeous, gorgeous routine.
Anastasia Webb, one of the contenders for an all-around title here, which will be awarded at the end of tonight.
Margzetta was a little overcooked on that final handstand, but it was an aggressive, I don't even want to call it a mistake, just went a little too hard, had to arch slightly and bring it back. But she went so hard for that routine.
Sydney Solosky now on floor after Miley O'Keefe scored a 99625 for Utah. This is the anchor performer for the Red Rocks.
Big double layout, floats it in.
Score, by the way, for Miley O'Keefe from Utah, that 99625 is the best score of the day on any apparatus so far.
Sydney does everything full out, so big, from her tumbling to her dance. Uses her entire body in the choreography. Front layout to front full. Up on high toe, nicely done.
She's a senior from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. She's already indicated that she plans to return in 2022. And Kennedy Hambrick, or Arkansas, mounting the beam, competing as an individual here. Score just came in for Webb, 99375, the same as Reagan Smith.
Great routine for Sydney. What a finish for Utah. Kennedy's tied for 13th in the nation on this event, so strong event for her. She's currently ranked 8th in the all-around during the regular season. Arkansas had such a stellar season. Really so much to be proud of. Fought to the very, very end, too.
Jordan Weber, their new head coach at Arkansas, doing a fantastic job with that program, and we expect to see them challenging for a team title before too long as well. For the 42nd straight year, the NFL Draft is on ESPN. It's also on the NFL Network, and the Game Day crew will be on ABC again this year, covering it from the college perspective. It all comes to you Thursday, April 29th through May 1st, and all 3 days also on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Emily Shepard getting set to go on floor.
And what a season NC State had.
Oh, no
They
kidding.
unfairly got put into the play-in round. I don't know how in the world that happened, but play-in they did. They won that round, went into the day 2, qualified to the final. Just, it was like phenomenal. It was so So exciting.
Emily Shepard, 13 times she competed for NC State in the all-around this year. She had a 9.925 at the regional semifinal, which is what qualified her into this session tonight.
Nice form in that double back. Seen several tonight where legs are straight, toes are pointed. Really nice to see. Layout to front full. Looked like she might have been slightly under-rotated on that. Quality of her dance is really superb. Love the way she goes up high on releve. Strong finish, tuck double back. Good for her.
Okay, Kathy, let's take a look at some of the highlights from this second rotation. LSU was lights out on vault. Kaya Johnson.
These two vaults from Kaya's double twist. Just the tiniest little scoot on the landing. And then Haley Bryant flew to the moon. Wow. Amazing.
For the Oklahoma Sooners, not to be denied, Reagan Smith and Anastasia Webb both had 9.9375s.
They were both really superb and so calm, cool, collected throughout the entire rotation, but they show off all the qualities they possess. It's what makes balance beam so fun for those of us who love this event.
And we have a great one here. The top three teams separated by just .165. When we come back, we'll focus on sophomore sensation from Alabama, Luisa Blanco. She got her first perfect 10 this year.
I usually go into all my routines thinking the same thing, staying in the moment, being grounded. But it was right after my last skill before my dismount, and I looked right at Dana in her eyes, and I like nodded my head, and she like gave me like a smile, like I got this. And so it was that just surreal moment of I'm finally going to show off what I've been doing in the gym, and it was awesome. I can't even put into words.
Right before her dismount, she turns and she looks, and I felt like I saw her, and she knew. I just did a perfect routine. And all I kept saying in my head was, stay present, you still have a dismount to do. And so it was so awesome to see her just nail that landing and to see that all the hard work and the number of 10-0s she's done in the gym translated into a competition.
A lot of highlights for Alabama and this young lady, Luisa Blanco, this year in her sophomore year. Let's take a look at the scores at the halfway point. LSU in first and Oklahoma stays in second. Utah trails Oklahoma by .075. Alabama currently in fourth. Luisa Blanco, the SEC Gymnast of the Year. Look what she won at the SEC Championship. Vault, bars, beam, and all around. The highest regional score of a 39.8, and she got her first perfect 10, as you had heard. Now, Alabama will be on the beam in the next rotation. Utah on the vault, LSU on the bars, and Oklahoma on the floor. But before we go there, let's get to know Alabama senior Lexi Graber.
I'm Lexi Graber. I am a senior for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I am from Fort Myers, Florida, and I love the beach. I love music. I am always singing. You will never catch me not singing. I am a huge sneakerhead. I have way too many pairs of shoes. And I'm actually from an Amish background. I've got some Amish family in me. So yeah, that's me.
Our senior class is not one that has gotten lots of press clippings in their time here. They're not, kids that are doing the all around, and they just really have set a tremendous pace and a maintenance of what was important in terms of our core values. I love our senior class. They are the personality and the backbone of everything that we've done so far.
And that senior class, you can see some of their accolades. Jay Clark told us at the beginning of the season, this is one of the deepest teams they've ever had, 10 to 13 deep on every event. Congratulations to his senior class. 6 seniors. Some of them are considering taking that extra senior year, but they can wait till the end of this season before they have to decide. All right, here's the meet summary at this point. LSU has been leading the whole way. Oklahoma is in second, and there are some highlight scores, some big scores tonight, well over 9 nines in many cases, and LSU right now over that 198 pace, and any team that can score 198 is a contender for the title, no question about it. Oklahoma just a little behind, but in this rotation, in the upper left on your screen, Miley O'Keefe on vault for Utah. In the upper right on bars, it's Kaya Johnson who will go. In the lower left, it's Alabama on the beam with Alonza Cloffer, and Oklahoma in your lower right on the floor with Jordan Draper.
Yurchenko full for Utah's opening vault. And on bars, Kaya Johnson, one of the best leadoff routines in the country. It is stellar, especially that dismount. She just flies and keeps that body so ramrod straight.
Alonza Cloffer on beam as Miley O'Keefe, as Jordan Draper opens up on the floor for the Sooners.
Alonza Cloffer has been such a reliable leadoff performer on balance beam, especially in these high pressure meets.
Nice hit.
Great routine to start Alabama off on beam. And Jordan Draper, entertaining as always. This high energy routine, I mean, it's high octane, nonstop.
Kathy, I mentioned the depth of LSU. Well, that's not exactly the case for the Oklahoma Sooners. They've had several injuries this year, people out with foot injuries and some challenges, and so they don't quite have the depth that they're used to having.
You're right, they don't have either the big tumbling passes. That's why it's so great to have Olivia Troutman back in the lineup with her big double layout at the end. But they can certainly perform, and the music and choreography, always crowd-pleasing and judge-pleasing.
The current roster of the Oklahoma Sooners, only 6 athletes on the floor are scholarship athletes. The rest are walk-ons.
And that's something we've celebrated all season long. It's such a huge story, and I love that the teams, they embrace that, and they don't nobody's treated any differently. Everyone is valued and important. Chase Brock on the uneven bars for LSU.
Kaya Johnson got a 9.85 to lead them off.
Chase has a couple little built-in deductions, just sometimes with the knees and the feet, but this is looking like one of her best routines. Full out, and look at the landing. Really well done.
Nice job for the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. Crystal Issa for Utah, getting set to go on vault. Their first 2 vaulters, O'Keefe at a 9.825, Cammie Hall a 9.875.
Crystal does a Yurchenko full. It's kind of a compact little full, but beautifully done in terms of form, execution, and of course that landing was superb. She's happy with it.
I think she's looking for her mask.
Oh,
oh, that's not it. That's funny.
Only in 2021. Oh, look at that. Nice flare open with the arm. She doesn't get the big height and distance, but she's not giving away tenths of a point on landings and form, so a lot to be happy with there.
Utah is very clean in their gymnastics, but they don't have the big, high-flying, powerful, difficult vaults like some of the other teams. This will be Olivia Dunn getting set to go on bars for LSU.
Olivia has steadily improved all season long. She started the season with she had an ankle injury early in the season, so we've really only seen her on the uneven bars. And then she dealt with COVID, so it was hard getting her endurance back, especially towards the end of this routine, but it has gotten stronger and stronger. Nice handstand to begin with.
Freshman from Hillsdale, New Jersey.
Nice combination there, the Tkachev into back salto. Had to work hard to try to get that one into handstand. And the dismount double layout, that's the best one she's done all season long.
Good time to do it. This is the one event where LSU has shown some inconsistencies this year compared to their powerful floor and vault.
Great to see her get those feet up, get that rotation she needed to land with the chest up high.
Emily Gaskins on beam for Alabama. Lonza Cloffer led them off with a 9.875.
Waiting on Shalyn Olsen's score, who went second. Emily has been so beautiful on this event. She's gotten so much more confident and consistent.
I love this mount.
You can do it.
No thanks.
Oh, she had to work a little bit on that.
Score in for Olsen, 9.8625.
Emily shows off nice footwork, beautiful toe point, turned out legs. Very solid on that side aerial to split jump.
Jaden Rucker set to go on vault for Utah after Lucy Stanhope had a 9.8625.
A 1.5 twist. Oh, look at the block.
Wow.
Oh, I love the height, but she couldn't quite get the rotation all the way around.
Such nice technique.
Boy, did you see the change of direction, though, off the table? That was lovely. Here's her series. She's just so much more at ease, so much more confident now on beam. She's always been beautiful, so nice to see her.
Score just came in for Olivia Dunn for LSU on bars. It was a 9-9. You saw that routine? As Emma LaPinta takes to the floor for the Sooners. Their two scores are 9.9125 for Draper and 9.9375 for Schofer.
Nice triple twist. We don't get to see those often. Teeny bit of little form with her legs, but how fun. And the ribbons actually work well on her face with this routine. Somehow it works.
She's a junior from Frisco, Texas.
Front fold or front layout.
She competed in 13 of 14 meets for OU, her season high 9.925. Lexi Birch now on vault for Utah. She'll be their final vaulter. All their scores in the 9.8 range, not a 9.9 for the Red Rocks on vault.
Another 1.5 here. Wow, I knew she had to work. Didn't quite have the height or rotation, but pulled it around and managed pretty good control on that landing. want her to hold that ending. That's the only thing. She does such a great job with her eye contact and facial expressions throughout that routine.
Get you caught up on the scores over here. Olivia Dunn had a 9.9. 9.875 for Chase Brock. 9.85 for Haley Bryan, who just completed her routine. And here is Alona Shenikova. This could be outstanding.
She can swing bars, uses her height to really show off these shapes in the air. Back-to-back release moves, one on a high bar and then down to low. Nice form. Look at the toe point, legs together. Double layout.
Oh, nice.
Wow, almost hold on to it. It's a little kind of a quick salute stick, as we say, but that dismount has gotten better as the seasons progress, certainly.
Well, her team's going to give her the benefit of the doubt and hand her the stick crown. It might have been what we call a college stick.
Watch this ray. Very nice height. 2.5 feet above the bar. And right into the packed salto. Nice connection of difficulty. And the dismount, she takes it out a little far, doesn't quite get those feet up, so slightly under-rotated, but held on as best she could on those toes.
Moments ago on vault, competing as an individual here, Maddie Dagan.
Marchenko 1.5. Good speed into the table.
Excuse me.
Oh, had to work really hard to try to get that stick. Nice vault, though.
Dagan from Oregon State. Sammy Durrani will be the anchor performer. You can see her NQS 9925, tied for 11th in the NCAA.
Mom, Dana Durante in the stands. So proud of her daughter, and what a fun gymnast to watch. She is so aggressive, just attacks her routines, especially the bars. It is non-stop. Taps really hard through the bottom.
Yes.
Little bit of form on that release move.
Oh no. My! Oh! Oh!
Wow. Missed her hand on the.
Oh. Wow.
This is rare. This is a gymnast that just does not miss this event. I don't know that she's ever missed a routine.
She's bulletproof, according to Jay Clark.
She is.
This is completely a fluke. Oh my goodness.
Hand just went over that bar. A lot of the gymnasts have been in a little close on this pack salto. You know, the timing is different up on the podium. Remounts the bar. And as always, she's just aggressive no matter what. Gets that dismount and the stick. Good for her. Boy, I hate to see that, though, because this is a gymnast. Seriously, I don't know that I've ever seen her miss a bar routine. And you know Jay feels that same way for her.
She came up after Alona Shenikova had a 9.9, so they have 5 great scores for LSU. If LSU qualifies to tomorrow's final, Durrani will have another chance to show her expertise there, as Lexi Graber takes to the beam, coming after Maddie Wellagora, had a 9.8125, and Emily Gaskins a 9.875. No 9.9s yet for Alabama on beam.
Lexi is a former SEC champion on this event, and she has worked so hard on both beam and floor, perfecting all the little details. Back handspring, back pike.
Oh no.
And I do have to say, she has been nursing an injury.
Lower leg injury.
Leg injury. And has been out of, she did not compete at regionals on anything except one vault, and she toughed her way through that one vault for the team.
She helped her team win the SEC championship and then hurt her leg in between the SECs and the NCAA regionals. She'll continue as Anastasia Webb takes to the floor for the Sooners, coming after LaPinta's 9.9 and Belle Johnson with a 9.875. Sooners have 3 scores 9.9 or better on floor.
Anastasia can be just mesmerizing on this event. She just sucks you into this performance. She makes it all her own. Very difficult, 1.5 two-way front full.
Really does have a completely unique style.
And so comfortable in it. When you step out of the norm, you have to just have this immense confidence. And she truly just paints a beautiful picture with her unique style. Love that swan jump, whatever you call it. It's such a beautiful jump out of that final tumbling run.
Spectacular. Anastasia Webb for the Sooners as Luisa Blanco steps up. She's been in this situation before. Lexi Graber only a 9.3.125. So Alabama needs a hit once again from Blanco in that anchor spot. They've gotten it many times before.
And she has had ice water in her veins all season long on this event, and she is just sheer perfection in everything from the acrobatic skills, like this triple series. But she shows off every element of balance beam, from the flexibility to the posture, precise footwork, flexibility, balance. I mean, the list of superlatives is long when it comes to Luisa on beam. We are lucky this year. There are a few really just top-notch balance beam workers, and she is right in there. Look at the high toe releve, just gorgeous. This is a double twist.
Oh,
finds the landing, absolute perfection. Oh yeah, we're all nodding with you, Luisa.
Yes, we are.
That was a beauty.
Oh my goodness. Now keep in mind, in addition to 2 teams qualifying through to the championship final tomorrow, they will award individual champions on each event and in the all-around from the 2 sessions of semifinals today. So NCAA titles on the line. Look at that execution.
Check this out. And I think if we'd gone one more right there, one more frame of film, we would have seen the absolute perfection of that leap. And the dismount double twist, it's usually harder to stick those than the 1.5s, but love to see her go for that extra half twist, get the landing.
Dana Duckworth in her 7th season, 26 years with the program. She herself was a national champion on the beam and with her team, and many years as a volunteer assistant coach, and now she's 7 years at the helm of the Crimson Tide, one of the great programs in the history of women's sports. 6-time NCAA champions, and they've been a contender for 47 years
and
in
Dana
women's
knows
collegiate gymnastics.
what it's like to score a 10. She has done that as well.
We'll have a special afternoon edition of the NBA Saturday for you coming up on ESPN and the app. Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz have the NBA's best record and play the first of 2 games in 2 days against LeBron and the Lakers. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 4 Eastern.
And Olivia Troutman, watch this double layout. So great to have this back in the lineup.
Woo! Anastasia Webb scores in. It's a 9.9875. That's the best score on any apparatus today. Wow.
Beautiful amplitude and form on that combination pass.
She just added floor exercise at the regional championships after having not competed in the all-around for 712 days.
Oh, the joy she must feel just being out there, and the patience that she had to have to wait for this moment.
Earlier this year, the Oklahoma Sooners picked words to help them sort of inspire themselves through this year's, and they put them on bracelets. So here is a collection of some of the bracelets that the Oklahoma Sooner gymnasts are wearing. Capable, believe.
They each chose their own word, what meant something special to them and would be the inspiration for their season. It's really cool.
It has been a season like no other, and right there in the middle of that group is Maggie Nichols, by the way, who's a graduate assistant and who unfortunately didn't get to experience her final senior season. The many-time national champion, world medalist, and now she's helping out her teammates experience the joys of what collegiate gymnastics is all about. There she is, 4-time NCAA event champion. Twice she won the all-around, 22 perfect 10s in her career, and I'm sure her experience on the sideline is invaluable. You talk about an athlete who could deliver. There's Maggie Nichols. Wow.
And just think of the inspiration and advice that she can provide to these athletes who undoubtedly looked up to her throughout her elite career and then, of course, her collegiate career. And what a role model she has been for so many people. A hero in every way.
Kennedy Hambrick on floor now, competing as an individual for Arkansas. The score in now for Troutman is a 9.925. So 5 scores for the Sooners are 9.9 or better.
Kennedy Hambrick opens with a double back, tuck position. She's tied for 8th on floor exercise. So comes in with a very high ranking. Nice height. That's the one thing we really enjoyed in the season, the height and amplitude that we saw from Arkansas on floor exercise. And we know it's Jordan Weaver all the way. She has really done some spectacular work with these athletes.
Hambrick competed in every meet as an all-arounder for the Razorbacks, the junior from Pearland, Texas.
Oh, look at Oklahoma all doing the routine with her. That's awesome.
Here's the Arkansas all-around record of 39.75.
Finishes strong. Great meet.
Good job for Kennedy Hambrick from Arkansas. We just got a little scoring update here now. Anastasia Webb, because of some technical issues with the computer, her score on floor has been changed to a 9.9625. But regardless of that, it was still a spectacular performance for the Sooners in that rotation. Let's take a look at it.
As we said, she just puts on a show in her very unique way. The tumbling, the little touches, that giant jump at the end, I just love it. Fun to watch. And Luisa Blanco was just spotless here. Exquisitely performed balance beam routine from start to finish, and the fight she showed to just hang on to that landing.
And after that rotation, the Oklahoma Sooners surge into the lead based on a season high on floor. LSU is in second, Utah third, Alabama in fourth.
Watching Olivia, experience that injury for a second time
was really devastating. We all know how hard she had to work through that last year, and then basically to have it all start over again is so difficult.
Finally getting that opportunity to compete at regionals and the all-around, it was just an amazing feeling. Like, all my hard work has paid off.
We love obviously having her out there and seeing her get that 10. Like, was I surprised? Absolutely not, because she is so clutch.
I mean, every 10 is super special. So just finally sticking that vault and getting that score was just an amazing feeling, and to celebrate it with my team was incredible.
And what a contribution she makes to the Sooners. 2019, she was the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and floor champion. Never scored below 9.925 in her career, and has 4 perfect 10s, 3 on vault and 1 on floor. She brings a lot of energy to Oklahoma, who will move to vault, where she can fly high in the final rotation. So here are the scores as we get set for the 4th and final rotation. The Oklahoma Sooners have surged into the lead based on a season high on floor. LSU is now in 2nd. Utah and Alabama still within striking distance. They're 3rd and 4th. So, Kathy, you ready for this final rotation?
I am, Bart.
Woohoo! Don't go away. That trophy will be given out tomorrow. The NCAA Gymnastics Championship for the first time on ABC. You'll also be able to see every routine on the ESPN app, including our all-around channel with all 4 apparatus going at once. Boy, there's been a lot of highlights today. Let's talk about the day that Anastasia Webb is having for the Oklahoma Sooners in the all-around.
She is having a spectacular all-around performance, high-flying skills, great level of difficulty, uncanny air awareness, and the ability to just dial in all these landings.
Haley Bryant has been spectacular as well. How about this vault?
It was a rocket launch. Just incredible technique.
And Miley O'Keefe, once again, sublime for Utah on the floor.
Certainly just combined even elegance in her tumbling. Good, clean form from start to finish.
So here's where we are. LSU had the lead after the first 2 rotations, but after that 3rd rotation, based on a season high for the Sooners on floor, they take the lead. LSU struggled a little bit on the bars, and in this final rotation, Oklahoma will go on the vault, Utah will be on the bars, LSU will be on the beam, and Alabama will finish on the floor. Remember, we've said from the start, any one of these teams could advance. Just 2 teams out of this session will make it to tomorrow's championship. Keep in mind, every apparatus, every athlete is available on the ESPN app. So in your upper left, that's Audrey Davis getting ready to go for the Sooners on vault. In your upper right, it's Abby Paulson for Utah, set to go on bars. There's Dario on beam for LSU in the bottom left, and on the floor, it's Shania Adams for Alabama.
And Oklahoma just started with a perfectly stuck full. It's the only full they're doing in the rotation. The rest of them will be 1.5s. Christina Desiderio has been so rock solid. Even at the regionals where they were so shaky on balance beam, just the nerves came out. I'm glad they have that experience under their belts coming into here, so they know what it feels like, because you just can't replicate it in training.
Absolutely. They were under enormous pressure to hit and hold off Arizona State and Kentucky, who were having their best meets of the year.
And they already are better off right now. This was a more solid routine from Desiderio in leadoff.
We just got to note that second up for LSU will be Haley Bryant. She's in the lineup in place of Durante, who, as you saw, fell on the bars, and so she'll be replaced. Hopefully she's okay. They'll need her for tomorrow if they're going to run for the championship. Allie Stern, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, set to go on vault for the Sooners.
And this is a very dynamic vault. As I said, the rest of the vaults in their lineup are going to be 1.5 twist, all 10-0 start values. And Oklahoma, of all the teams, has the most uncanny air sense. The drills that they do to set these vaults up, to hit the shape in the air and be able to spot this landing more consistently is unreal.
Audrey Davis led them off with a 9.8875. Here is Stern. Sooners have the lead.
Very good control on that landing. We often call this a blind landing, but I'm convinced the gymnasts now have eyes in the back of their head because they see this landing so well now.
Alani Sabado for Utah on the bars. Abby Paulson led them off with a 9.825.
And notice those outstretched arms when she regrasped that release move. Nice distance from the bar. Kind of makes your heart jump a little bit.
Here is Haley Bryan. As we mentioned, she's a late substitution on beam for LSU in place of Durrani.
Front aerial right to her back handspring. That's her acro series. Very solid. Nice position in those leaps, lost the toe point just ever so slightly at the top of the jump. Love how deliberate she is being. Taking control of this routine.
Oh, nice.
Front tuck, solid as could be.
Desiderio scores in. It's a 9.725 for LSU here.
So clearly there was a break earlier in the routine that I did not see when we were watching another routine. Let's see if she can get this dismount stick.
Nice.
Very nice. Puts them right back on track to get the high scores they need to feel comfortable. Shallon Olsen, check this out.
Just Shallon Olsen. Here comes that big first pass.
I don't know if she's doing it. She can do a number of passes, but opens with a pike full in. We've seen her do the double-double.
And Webb sticks a 1.5 for the Sooners at the same time.
Okay, folks, you just saw a tremendous four-event performance by Anastasia Webb. Finishes it with a stick.
Well, if she gets a 9.9375, she'll win the NCAA all-around. We'll wait for her score because, like I said, there are individual titles as well as team spots in the final at stake tonight. Shania Adams led Alabama off with a 9.8875 on floor.
Front through to a double back. Nobody rotates as fast as Shallon Olsen. She is the quickest flipper out there.
Let's take a look at this vault, Kathy. It's about as good as it gets.
Superb technique. Look how she set it, lifted it up, and just felt that landing coming. Wow, legs glued together. In slow motion, you see the slightly soft in the knees right before the landing, but I'm telling you, with judges sitting on the side, depending on their view, we'll have to see what they come up with.
You saw the fist pumps from Lou Ball. He is the husband of KJ Kindler. They are a spectacular team running the Sooners for the last 15 years. And he is largely responsible for the work they do on the vault. .9975, the score for Webb. And that confirms she will win the NCAA all-around title. What a way for her to cap off this season. Evie Schofer now coming up with an unusual vault, Kathy.
A tucked 1.5, and this vault has grown on me. Oh, she stuck a perfect one in the final touch. I was hoping she'd pull that one out again, and this one was over-rotated. A little too much juice.
Griffin James will be next up for Alabama on the floor. The junior from Virginia Beach.
As you can see, she came up big for them on floor exercise at the regionals.
She was in the first 2 meets of the season for Alabama, then missed almost 2 months and came back for the SECs and regionals, and you said came up big with 9 nines.
We were there for that very emotional floor routine. First time back after rupturing her Achilles tendon the year before. So such a beautiful moment. So beautiful. She was so emotional. She forgot to salute the judge, and unfortunately, they took the deduction.
That's not right.
Wonderful to see that last pass. She fought so hard to keep that front foot down, to keep it from sliding back. That's what all these athletes are taught. You fight for every 1/10 of a point. In fact, after every meet, they go back and they go, how can we be a 1/2 a 10th better next time out?
And that's often the difference at meets at this level. There's so much parity in collegiate gymnastics these days. I don't think we've ever been to a national championship with this many teams that have a legitimate chance to win it, Kathy. Do you remember?
No, and it's so exciting. It's so great for the sport. I know it's not great for the cardiac health of these coaches or the commentators, but I will say it is phenomenal for the sport of gymnastics, and I know there's so much excitement around this sport and these athletes and these programs right now, and it's well-deserved.
Bridget Dean waiting for the score to come in for Ilona Shenikova, who performed before her. Her first score was a Desiderios 9.725. Here's Troutman.
We're on stick watch here. She can often come up with it. Not quite this time. She scooted those little feet back some, but it was a big vault. Nicely done.
A lot of pressure on LSU here, trying to hang on to second place. The Sooners seem to be rolling.
Sarah Edwards, very difficult pass there. Side aerial to back handspring.
Miley O'Keefe now up on bars for Utah after Emily LeBlanc had a 9.9.
And this is a special routine on bars. So pretty, so impeccably clean. Very floaty, effortless. Slight leg separation on that pack salto. Half pirouette on low bar. Watch this dismount. It's a double Arabian. She's going to half turn and then double front. Wow, that is so hard to land, and she does it extraordinarily well. Yes, good for her. There was a delay before that celebration. I loved it.
And a hit for LSU's Bridget Dean coming after Ilona Shenikova. Got only a 9.4375. LSU trying to hold on. Troutman's score is in. It's a 9.8875. So that score there for the Sooners, 198.0875, will clinch them a spot in tomorrow's championship final. Who else will earn a spot there? Kennedy Hambrick for Arkansas with her vault now to complete her effort here as an individual competing for an all-around or individual event title.
She's ranked 9th on this event. This can be a big vault. It's a 1.5. And there's so much energy right now in the arena. She can really use that here to launch a big one. Oh, step on the landing. Look at the distance. Got good distance from the table.
Crystal Issa will be up next on bars. The score in for Miley O'Keefe, a well-deserved 9.95. So Utah only 15th in the country on this particular event, the uneven bars, is superb right now. Crystal Issa will be their ankle performer, and you see, look at her scores this year.
Tell you what, I think it's that underdog mojo that they got going here, because this is great rotation for them. Watch these straight body casts. She's the only one that really doesn't do the straddle up, the handstand.
As Kaya Johnson mounts the beam for LSU. LSU, Utah, and Alabama are all still in this. Oklahoma has locked a spot.
So keep one eye on the beam, one eye on the bars. Nice pirouette over there for bars. Double layout, just a little scoot and a little off balance on the landing. Solid as can be from Kaya on her acro series.
Bridget Dean before her had a 9.8625.
Yeah, she fought on that difficult leap, that switch leap half turn. You really have to get all the way around in that half turn, square those hips before you land. Front toss. You can see how deliberate she's being on these landings. Leaving nothing to chance. You don't want to rely on luck on this event. You got to make your luck.
Luisa Blanco beginning her floor routine for Alabama.
Great routine by Kaya.
Emily Gaskin's score is in a 9.8375, so only 1.99 for Alabama so far in this rotation.
Luisa can be just hypnotic with her dance. She has just such a great feel for the music. Beautiful form in the tumbling.
Utah's Crystal Issa, 9.9 on bars to wrap it up for them.
Beautiful amplitude. Lovely step into the arabesque out of that pass. Such a complete performance. And relief, too. I mean, what a postseason this has been. And especially for Luisa. I mean, she was lights out at SEC championships and the intensity of regionals, and we're now on the balance beam with Reagan Campbell for LSU.
She is the anchor performer here. Score coming in for Kaya Johnson, 9.8875.
Nice fight there. A little bit of an arm balance check. Just a leg up check there. These are all very, very minor. You can tell she's nervous because she's usually just a little bit firmer on those landings. Great fight from this gymnast. Just slight little deductions, tiny balance breaks.
Luisa Blanco's score is in. It's a 9.95. And so the final performer for Alabama on the floor will be Lexi Graber. Tied for fourth in the NCAA on this event. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, she was out with lower leg injuries.
I love the epic feel of this music, and this choreography just suits it beautifully. Full twisting double back.
scores here now for Alabama, for LSU. As Lexi Graber finishes her routine, and Reagan Campbell from LSU gets a 9.8375. LSU could advance.
That was as tough as it was beautiful. I loved seeing her. The eye contact she was making with people on the sidelines, the judges, and so emotional. This has not been easy. It hasn't been an easy year, first of all.
Anyway.
But these last few weeks for Lexi, it has not been easy at all. They've had to manage, and the uncertainty of even being able to do this. So
we started the season, we didn't even know if we were going to have a full season. And the fact that these athletes are all here in Fort Worth competing for a national championship in a safe, healthy environment, hats off to the athletes, the coaches, the administrators, the NCAA, and everybody who put on this magnificent season. We have one more day to go. That's the championship final tomorrow. But for many of these young ladies, their careers are coming to an end this weekend. And these young ladies have been gymnasts since they were little girls, Kathy.
yes, and they have been through so much. They have bonded together with their teammates, their sisters, like no other years. It was forced on them, but it is the silver lining of this crazy year. And it's wonderful to see the love they have for each other, the belief they have in each other, and the support that they will always have for each other.
Enormous amount of adversity, and yet these women have been heroic.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, we're waiting on the final scores. Oklahoma is a clinch. We do not yet know whether it'll be Utah or Alabama. Waiting on the score for Lexi Graber.
Oh boy. This is excruciating.
Oh.
And we're not out there. We didn't just pour our hearts and souls. Well, actually, we did. We've poured our hearts and souls into this as well this season. We care about all these athletes and these programs and these coaches. So, yes, it's excruciating for all of us. Well, I've never seen anything quite like this.
Oh. There's a conference on floor exercise.
Okay.
Now, here's what we're getting from our statistician. Graber would need a 9.9875 for Alabama to advance. That's just under a 10. We have big celebrations for Utah. And it's Oklahoma and Utah that will advance. The score came in for Lexi Graber, a 9.9625. The Crimson Tide just getting aced out in that final rotation. Wow! It's Oklahoma and Utah, Alabama, and LSU's seasons come to an end.
Look at their faces. I can feel the joy all the way up here, and we are miles away from the floor. Oh.
Tom Farden says U stands for underdogs, and that's a position they like. And what a finish in that final rotation. Crystal Issa got a 9 on bars, and Utah earns a spot into the championship along with Oklahoma. What a thrilling night. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Welcome back to Dickies Arena. Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark wrapping up an amazing day of gymnastics in the semifinals here at the NCAA Championship in a thrilling finish Oklahoma and Utah will advance to the championship final tomorrow. Get this, teams second, third, and fourth place were all separated by 375 ten-thousandths of a point. Unbelievable. And the team that's probably the happiest in this building right now is Utah, led by Tom Farden. Tom.
Hi, Bart.
Congratulations. You said at the beginning of the year that you liked that underdog position. Boy, you played it well today.
Well, this is a team that when we came in this weekend, we really wanted to focus on being mentally tough. It wasn't the ideal start on balance beam, but they just never quit.
If you can walk us through rotation by rotation, at what point did you feel like we can do this, or did you just hang on all night long?
You know, the whole mentality for this weekend was that nobody comes in here and out-toughs us mentally and physically, and we're just going to grind this one out. And, that's really what it felt like, as a coach watching. And, we stumbled a little bit on balance beam, but then I thought we really got our footing on the next three events.
10 times Utah has won the national championship. Your last title was back in 1995. What does it feel like to be going in for a shot at the championship tomorrow?
Well, we're really grateful. It's been a very challenging year with all the NCAA sports, and we're just really grateful for this opportunity, and we're going to take full advantage of it.
What do you need to do tomorrow to have a chance to win it?
We just got to be ourselves. We got to go in there and do our thing and be ourselves and see where it takes us.
All right, congratulations, Tom Farden.
Appreciate
in his 6 years, the head coach, and this is one of the great programs in the history of all women's sports, and they earned a right to compete for a championship in tomorrow's final, along with Oklahoma coming out of this semifinal number 2. Eastern will bring you the NCAA Gymnastics Championship for the first time on ABC. You'll also be able to see every routine on the ESPN app, including our all-around channel, with all 4 apparatus going at once. Here are the brackets for the championship tomorrow, advancing are Florida, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Utah after a spectacular day here in the semifinals in Fort Worth. I have a buddy on Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Kathy, I'm kind of worn out, but this is one of the finest days and the most competitive days of gymnastics I've ever seen.
Oh, it was spectacular. It was so dramatic and my heart soared and it dropped I don't know how many times in this competition.
All right, one of the big stars tonight, of course, was Oklahoma Sooners and Anastasia Webb. Not only does she be the all-around champion for this year, but she won the vault and she's leading her Sooners into the team final tomorrow. Anastasia, congratulations. I know early in the season you had a lot of doubts as to whether we were going to have a season at all. So what does this moment mean to you?
This moment means everything. I'm super excited. Our team is super ready. We've shown it all, and I believe we are destined to win tomorrow, and we're all super excited.
Anastasia, we had the privilege of interviewing you early in the season. We're so impressed with how articulate you were about what gymnastics means to you and about the way you construct your routines and the shapes you show off. As we look at your beautiful gymnastics, can you describe that process of what you like to create in your routines?
First, thank you so much for saying that. When I'm on the floor on the balance beam, I listen to the music in the background. I love to dance. I love to express myself. I just listen to the music, and overall, I'm just enjoying every moment of it and taking it all in.
And I have to share with everybody, Anastasia is as sweet as she is tough in competition. What was it like dialing in everything in that final stuck vault? Tell me that feeling.
I can't even describe it. I think the best moment was when I was able to hug my coach. We have been practicing so many times, and that moment together was amazing, and I'll never forget it.
Oh.
Congratulations, Anastasia, on the all-around title, the vault title, and a shot at the team title tomorrow. A pretty darn good weekend for a young lady from Niles West High School. We graduated from the same high school, although I graduated a few years earlier.
Oh.
Congratulations, Anastasia.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so here are the individual champions. Haley Bryant and Anastasia Webb share the vault title. Bordas and O'Keefe share the uneven bars. Luisa Blanco got the beam title, and the floor title is shared between Anastasia Webb and Miley O'Keefe. Wow, what a day of gymnastics. We weren't sure whether we were going to have a season, and now look what we have here, Kathy. Your thoughts as we look forward tomorrow, real quickly.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for tomorrow. This is going to be unbelievable. And the 4 teams that are in the final, congratulations to them, and go get some sleep.
Tomorrow it'll be Michigan, Florida, Oklahoma, and Utah going for the championship. We'll be live on ABC at 3:30 Eastern. For Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bar Connor, and for our whole crew, thanks for an incredible day of gymnastics.